The origin, meaning, and importance of Ichie in Igbo land. Introduction to Ichie. Ichie refers to a group of respected elders and titled men in Igbo society who hold significant influence and authority within their communities. The term Ichie is derived from the Igbo words Ndi, meaning people or group, and Ichie, meaning elder or one who is mature in wisdom. Thus, Ichie translates to the elders or the wise ones. These individuals are recognized for their age, wisdom, experience, and contributions to the community. They are often seen as custodians of tradition, culture, and morality in Igbo society. The origin of Ichie. The concept of Ichie has deep roots in the history of the Igbo people, dating back to ancient times when communities were organized around clans and kinship groups. In the traditional Igbo setting, decisions affecting the community were made collectively by a council of elders, known as Ichie. These elders were typically men who had attained a certain age, status, and respect within the community. Their authority was derived from their deep knowledge of Igbo customs, laws, and religious practices, as well as their ability to lead and mediate in times of conflict. The origins of Ichie can be traced back to the early days of Igbo society when leadership was not centralized but rather dispersed among various groups and families. Each community or village had its own set of elders who governed based on the customs and traditions passed down from their ancestors. These elders were seen as the voice of the people and the guardians of the community's moral and cultural values. The meaning of Ichie. Ichie in Igbo land does not merely refer to old age but to a state of wisdom, respect, and moral authority. To be recognized as Ichie is to be acknowledged as someone who has lived a life of integrity, wisdom, and service to the community. The Ichie are often men who have undergone various rites of passage and have been conferred with titles that signify their status and responsibilities. In some parts of Igbo land, the Ichie are also known as the Ozo title holders. The Ozo title is one of the most prestigious titles in Igbo culture, and those who hold it are regarded as members of the Ichie. These titles are not given lightly but are awarded based on the individual's character, contributions to the community, and adherence to the values of the Igbo people. The importance of Ichie in Igbo land. 1. Custodians of tradition and culture. Ichie are the primary custodians of Igbo traditions, customs, and culture. They are responsible for preserving and passing down the oral histories, religious practices, and cultural values of the community to future generations. Their knowledge and experience make them invaluable in maintaining the continuity of Igbo identity. 2. Advisors and decision-makers. In Igbo society, Ichie serve as advisors to the community, particularly to the younger generation and the leaders. They are consulted on matters of importance, including disputes, marriages, land ownership, and communal projects. Their decisions are highly respected and often considered final. 3. Mediators and peacekeepers. One of the critical roles of Ichie is to mediate conflicts within the community. Their wisdom and impartiality make them ideal for resolving disputes and ensuring peace. They are often called upon to settle disagreements between families, clans, or even entire villages. Their decisions are binding because they are seen as being guided by fairness, justice, and the ancestors. 4. Moral exemplars. Ichie are expected to lead by example, embodying the moral and ethical standards of the community. They are role models for honesty, integrity, and selflessness. Their behavior and decisions set the tone for what is considered right and just in society. This moral leadership is essential in maintaining social harmony and guiding the younger generation. 5. Ritual and religious roles. In many Igbo communities, Ichie play significant roles in religious ceremonies and rituals. They are often involved in the worship of ancestors, the performance of sacrifices, and the invocation of deities. Their presence is essential in ensuring that these rites are conducted properly, according to tradition, and with the necessary spiritual authority. 6. Guardians of the community's wealth and resources. The Ichie are entrusted with the management and protection of communal resources, such as land, water, and sacred groves. They ensure that these resources are used sustainably and fairly, for the benefit of all members of the community. Their role as guardians of communal wealth is crucial in maintaining the community's long-term prosperity. The story of Ndi Ichie, a mythical perspective. According to Igbo mythology, the concept of Ndi Ichie originated from the time of the ancestors, when the first communities were being formed. It is said that the gods, in their wisdom, recognized the need for leaders who could guide the people with fairness and insight. They chose the oldest and wisest men in the land, men who had lived long and seen much, to serve as the first Ndi Ichie. The gods endowed these elders with special knowledge and the ability to communicate with the spirit world. They were given the responsibility to ensure that the community lived in harmony with the natural world and followed the laws of the gods. The Ndi Ichie were also tasked with preserving the stories of the ancestors, the histories, and the customs that define the community. Over time, as the communities grew and became more complex, the role of Ndi Ichie expanded. They became the keepers of the peace, the judges, and the moral compass of the society. Their influence was so great that even the kings and warriors of the land would bow to their wisdom. It is said that the spirits of the original Ndi Ichie continue to watch over their descendants, guiding them in their duties. The Ndi Ichie of today are seen as carrying on the sacred tradition established by those first elders, maintaining the link between the living, the ancestors, and the gods. Conclusion. Ndi Ichie hold a position of immense respect and responsibility in Igbo society. They are the living embodiments of the community's values, the bridge between the past and the present, and the guardians of truth and justice. Their role is integral to the social, cultural, and spiritual fabric of Igbo land. As custodians of tradition, advisors, mediators, and moral leaders, Ndi Ichie ensure that the Igbo way of life is preserved and passed down through generations, maintaining the strength and unity of the community.